Yo, I'm Brendan. Today we've got to talk about how much free money Robinhood is going to give us. Not only are they IRA matching us, they're giving us 3% on all of our contributions in our IRA. For me, whenever I roll over my 401k, or if you wanted to, you could roll over a 401k or an existing IRA between now and April 30th and get a 3% match on that. So that's two different matches with an IRA. And then now I found this on their website, which tells us that they're going to match our normal investing too. This is insane. We don't have a lot of details on it yet, but I'm going to dig into it as much as I can and tell you what I find. So obviously we know that there's no way we're getting something for nothing here. Robinhood has to benefit from us investing with them. They've got to benefit from us depositing more cash with them and then getting this boost, they're calling it back. They're calling this extra deposit boost that way. So let's learn from the way that they have it situated with the IRA, and then we can extrapolate that over to the regular investing account. So right now, here's what we see. 3% IRA matching on every dollar each year. This has been around for a while. We knew this is a thing. Earn 3% IRA matching on every eligible dollar contributed each year. And this sounds really great, at least on the face value. It sounds a lot like a 401k match at your work. And so for people that maybe work in a job that doesn't offer a 401k, this is a really cool way to experience a similar kind of benefit, but you don't have to worry about having that benefit at work. Or hell, if you do have a 401k match, you can match your 401k money. You can come and match your money here. Like, this is a really attractive thing. Now at my old job, the way it was originally situated was I had a 5-year vesting period for that match money, which meant that if I left before 5 years was up, I would lose some or all of that match. Each year I got like 20% more. Obviously the reason for that is it's incentives to stick around. You don't want to leave and lose this free money. Hey, I want the money. So it kind of is like golden handcuffs, if you will. Whenever we click into this match disclosures with Robinhood, it's a very similar situation. The IRA match is automatically added, which is really cool. It's added basically right away. So it's not like quite the same as that 5-year vesting period that I had where I got a fifth of the pie, if you will, each year, and it deposited. This is really cool. It's better for us because it instantly settles into the account. Well, not instantly, within a few days, basically instantly. And what that means is you get this lump of cash and it's growing for you. And so you've got more time for that match to grow, which is really cool. But similar to my old job, it says you have to keep the contributions in your IRA for at least 5 years from the date you contributed. So Robinhood is asking for a 5-year commitment from us. This by no means is actually locking up your money. It doesn't mean you can't withdraw or move it or transfer it or do whatever you want to do. It's just that they're holding this over your head that you're going to lose this bonus. Somehow I have a feeling a similar little bit of fine print is going to be there for this new thing that they haven't quite rolled out yet. The other thing that I mentioned about this 3% IRA matching that they don't actually talk about right here on this page is that if you transfer one over, you get 3% on that. And to get that, you've got to be paying for Robinhood Gold, and you've got to have an existing IRA or 401k that you can roll over into theirs. And that offer expires on April 30th of 2024. So if you're watching this later on than then, there could be a different offer. You'll have to go and check Robinhood's website yourself and verify what the offer is. I'm assuming something like that might come back around, or it'll be some other version of something like this, an incentive for us to deposit money and keep it there for a long amount of time. All right, enough about the retirement account. Now let's talk about this crazy unlimited deposit boost. What the heck? Let's start with the obvious things. It's not here yet. It says coming soon. We have no indication of when it's coming. If I had to guess, I would say after April 30th, because that's when this other incentive thing ends. This 3% IRA matching, the rollover part of that, not the standard matching, ends on April 30th. So I'm guessing May 1st. This thing rolls out. Check their website May 1st and then come back to this video and leave me a comment and tell me I was right or wrong. And so at first, whenever I saw this, I thought that this was money that we invest, we're going to get 1% on, right? That's what Robinhood is for. It's an investing platform. So they want us to invest money with them. And when we've invested money with them, then I'm assuming they have a lot of different ways to profit off of that. They can do stock lending. They can do payment for order flow. They can do all this stuff that is an incentivizing thing for them to keep us investing with them. They're turning up their profits, right? But that's not what this is. Look closer. This says unlimited deposit boost. This doesn't say unlimited investing boost. This doesn't say unlimited taxable brokerage boost. It's just little old deposits. This is even better for us. Deposit, earn extra, repeat. Look at this little gray print down here. It says score 1% more on every deposit, no cap. which is also slang nowadays, like Gen Z slang, but I think that also means without limit. I mean, literally, legally, right now, what Robinhood's claiming, that's my interpretation of that. It's not just like cool talking, bro. And this is the juicy part. Your extra money can start earning 5% APY or be invested in stocks and ETFs as soon as you receive it. Total boost paid out over 24 months. So this is a very different situation than the IRA boost or match or whatever they're calling that. This is not just an investing incentive. This is also a saving incentive. This is a way for you to get 1% extra on any of the money that you're depositing into Robinhood in cash or when you invest it. Once the money's deposited, from what I'm reading from this, you get the 1% boost. Now, the tricky thing is, and the main difference that I'm reading whenever we click into these terms and conditions is the boost is divided into 24 monthly payouts. So to get the full thing, you've got to leave the money in Robinhood for 2 years. And in the meantime, if you cancel your Robinhood Gold membership, you lose the future payouts that you haven't earned yet. And so this is very much tied to Robinhood Gold. This is not a standard Robinhood feature. They are really, really pushing us to want Robinhood Gold. And then they specify that it's related to the not retirement brokerage account because the retirement account has a whole separate offer. You know what this means? It's spreadsheet time. I've got our trusty spreadsheet built here. As an example, let's say you've got $6,000 sitting in cash somewhere else, like in your savings account at Chase Bank. And you see this offer from Robinhood and you're like, you know what? I'm jumping on that. I don't know if I'm going to invest the money or not, but if I'm going to pay for Robinhood Gold, I'm getting 5% APY, at least for now, in the savings account. So I'm getting 5% interest on this $6,000, plus I'm getting this 1% bonus. So what does that amount to over the 2-year period? Well, you're not going to get the 1% bonus right away. On month 1, you're going to get $2.50. Then on month 2, you're going to get it again. And it's going to go all the way down for 2 years. You'll have to wait before you get the full $60 in the account. $2.50 every month all the way till there. But maybe you'll also be getting 5% interest the whole time. 1, 2, 3. Our spreadsheet has grown. And then this amazing thing happens in this middle column. Because we're getting this $250 deposited every month, we're not just getting 5% on our $6,000. We're getting 5% on our $6,000 plus the $250 plus whatever we made the last month. So if my math is correct, and it very well might not be, we start out basically making $27 in profit the first month. But by the time we get down to the end, we've made $692 in overall profit in this account for doing nothing. The account value has grown by 11.5% totally safely in a savings account. That's not an 11% return every year. It's like a 5.6% return every year. But still, that's pretty darn good. I mean, in the middle of this, you're making $25 to $27 a month in total passive income. Is anybody going to get rich off of doing this? No, it's not an investment strategy, but it's a nice little extra boost. That's why they call it the boost. So by my math, by the time you're all said and done, you've made $60 from the 1% boost. You've made $632 from the 5% APY, and your account's knocking on the door of $6,700 total by the time you're all done 24 months later. But there's one conspicuous thing missing from this offer from them. You notice they like to show off this area here in purple, these little numbers here. Get a 10% boost for $1,000, get a $10,000 boost for $1 million. All that's fine and good. But there's a word missing in all of this verbiage. There's a word missing here in the terms and limitations that I wish was there, that's not there. The word that I wish was here that's not. The offer that I wish was part of this that is not is transfers. This says only deposits into your non-retirement brokerage account will be eligible to earn the boost. Doesn't say anything about transfers. This is a bummer for those of us who might look at other taxable brokerage accounts that we have elsewhere and think, maybe I should move that over to Robinhood. I don't see any indication here that we're going to get the boost on a transfer. The sucky thing about that, if you haven't already sussed this out for yourself, is that could create a taxable event for us. Maybe you have $150,000 sitting in a taxable brokerage account with Vanguard or somebody, and moving that over here would be fine. You're a patient person. You can wait 24 months. You'll take a 1% boost on that. What is that? $1,500? I'll take $1,500 for doing nothing. Why not? But the problem is that if a big chunk of that is profit, now you're accountable to the IRS for those profits that you've taken because you'd have to sell those investments that you had in the other taxable brokerage account, liquidate them into cash, transfer them from there probably to your standard bank, wherever that is, and then transfer that into this Robinhood account and make a deposit. They don't say anything about transfers here. If we look back at this Robinhood retirement area, they talk about this 3% boost, and they very specifically say, if we zoom in, IRA transfers and old 401k rollovers also earn 3% until April 30th. In my opinion, it would be bad business for them to intend to include that in the 1% boost and not mention it. If it was a possibility for us to transfer stuff over and get that boost, they would be shouting it to the rooftops because that would be so appealing. We wouldn't create a taxable event. We could just transfer over existing stocks that we're already invested in, whammo slammo, get 1% on top of it, go buy burritos and race cars. But they don't say that. So, in my opinion, I would not count on that if I were you. I'm not going to count on that. If there would be any money that I would be transferring over here, which I am considering doing as we speak, it would have to be in the form of a cash deposit. All it says here is we score 1% on every deposit. So deposit to me just implies that first step. What's the summary of this? What's my opinion overall? I think it's pretty appealing. I mean, if you're able to just sit on this money and let it be there, then it gives you a little bit more flexibility than something like a CD. Because let's compare it to a brokered CD or a bank CD. I just made a video about that. I'll link it here at the end. A brokered CD right now, a 2-year brokered CD, if I remember correctly, is upwards of, I don't know, 5.3% per year, something like that. And a bank CD is right there close to. So it's a little bit higher rate than this. You are actually locking the money up more than you would with Robinhood. And a brokered CD comes with its own hurdles to jump through and its own kind of hoops and its own issues that you don't experience with a bank CD or with this Robinhood offer. So the nice thing about this Robinhood deal ends up being that you just have a more flexible opportunity with your money, if you will, compared to locking it away in a CD or locking it away buying T-bills or whatever else. This way you can have it in cash. This way you can invest it. And worst case scenario, you just feel like ripping it out. Maybe there's not an early withdrawal fee. They don't say anything here about it, but we also don't have all the information, so we don't know. But in theory, you could say, hey, our washer and dryer broke. I'm going to pull $1,800 out of here and go buy us new stuff. Okay, fine. You'll lose the boost on that $1,800, but it's still available to you. It's still as flexible as it always was. I think overall, it's very appealing. 4.5 years ago when I started making videos, Robinhood was not this appealing. I was happy to bash them because I felt like they didn't have anything that was that compelling. They made dangerous kind of trading way too easy. They incentivized the kind of reckless trading that got people in trouble. And while a lot of that hasn't actually changed, they've continued to add more and more features, especially lately, especially even in the last 4 months. They just keep piling it on more and more and more. And it makes me wonder, are other investment brokerages going to have to match something like this? Are they going to have to offer some kind of deposit boost? Because I have a feeling that between this, the new credit card, the IRA match, Robinhood is going to be gobbling up an awful lot of market share. So I'm curious to see what everyone else's response will be to this and to see if they can compete. It's pretty appealing. If you somehow missed my Robinhood credit card video, I'll put it right here for you to watch next. Otherwise, here's the video on brokered CDs versus bank CDs. They're an interesting product. I'd never heard of them before, did a bunch of research to make this video for you. Some people might like them. I think a lot of us won't. So watch out if you're buying a CD from a brokerage company, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.